Hello, I'm Ben Woodruff, and I'm here today with Shadow, the great horned owl. We're going to be talking about making jesses for owls. If you look at the legs of a hawk or a falcon, the part of their leg that is exposed is scaly, just like a lizard or a dinosaur. And when we're securing them, we put leather anklets around that part of their leg. Well, most owl species have feathers on their legs and on their toes. And underneath those feathers, their skin is very soft and actually quite delicate. It can get damaged very easily. Now, many years ago, the first owl I trained, about 25 years ago, a great horned owl that was injured, rehabilitation bird, and it needed to be trained and was going to be used for educational programs as an ambassador for its species. So I put leather anklets around, and this adult owl was irritated by these anklets and started picking at them and started picking at its own leg feathers, which is obviously not good. So I did a little bit of research, and I saw that some people had used very wide anklets covering a bigger part of their leg. I tried that, it still didn't do much help. So I wanted to do something so this bird would be comfortable and feel safe. And I came up with the idea of using fur-covered anklets. Now my thinking for this was, first of all, fur is soft on the legs where he had plucked out a few feathers, but also I used rabbit fur that was the same color as the feathers on his legs. And my thinking was that he would just think that that was just part of his leg feathers. It worked wonderfully, and I've used it on many owl species. So I want to show you how to make these kinds of anklets, and then I want to talk a little bit more about other applications, other species that they seem to work very well on. So the first step with making some owl jesses is to basically cut your regular Almeri jess. So this is an anklet made out of leather, and the only difference is normally you would cut sort of a fringe on top and bottom, but we're only going to put it on one side. You see this fringe cut here. You still have the holes for the grommet itself. The anklet wraps around, and the other side of the grommet is put in. Then a grommet setter is used to close that up when you're putting it on the bird traditionally. And then there's the jess. So this is the normal anklet system for a leg. You're going to cut all of that out, but we have to put fur on it. So once you get to this point, remember, cut only on one side. Cut this fringe you see only on one side. Now our next step is we have to draw where we're going to cut on the rabbit hide. I like using rabbit fur for owls. Normally I would use a white fur with great horned owls because it matches the feathers on their legs. But this is just for an example, so we're okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to an edge here, and I'm going to make a little mark right about here, because I'm drawing, let me draw on the anklet. This is how far we want the fur to go. Okay, we don't want to actually cover where the grommet's going to be. So I'm going to draw a line there. So here's our first section of marks. But this is a two-sided fur anklet, so we're going to flip it over now and put that on the other side as well and mark that. Now, if you have ever had the chance to cut fur, you know that if you cut from this side, it will cut the follicle, the base of the fur, and you're going to get fur everywhere. So your best thing to do is to cut the leather side, the skin side. It's good to use something like an X-Acto knife, box cutter knife, something like that, and try to cut just a tiny little bit through, and try to cut as little as possible, meaning you want to only cut through the hide itself and attempt to not cut the fur on the other side. Remember, we're not going to cut this middle line here. That middle line was just a marker. So we're going to go ahead and cut through. Now once you are to this part, may I make another recommendation? When you see how the fur at the cut mark just comes off, in huge patches. It's the same all around this edge. I recommend you take both the piece you just cut and the hide itself, take it outside away from your house and shake it to get all that fur to just blow away. Otherwise, you're going to be finding it all over your house. Now that you've taken this outside and taken off as much of the loose fur as you can, remember this is going to fold on the line. I like obviously the bushier side on the outside because remember, the inner part is going to be rubbing up against the feathers on the leg itself. So shorter, soft fur on the inside, longer, poofy fur on the outside. Now, the straight line that has no lines cut in it, this is where that middle line goes. The outer part, the outer edge is the bottom, okay? So, what we're going to do now is we're going to get out our glue. You get some sort of a leather glue. It's basically a glorified, powerful version of rubber cement. Most of these will come with a brush attached to the lid. So I usually do the fur first because it tends to take a little longer to dry. So I'll start with it first. So we're just going to go ahead and completely cover it. You want to try not to get the fur caught in the glue. Okay, we've got this covered. We're going to set it aside for a bit because somewhat counterintuitively, you actually have to let this stuff dry before you can let it bond. It's a two-part application. Okay, so now we're going to put some on the anklet. And remember not to put any of this glue past your line here where the grommets are going to attach because we only want this to be on the center part. However, we've got to flip it and do two sides, which means you're going to be holding this while it dries. All right, now if you can see, this is drying much faster, which is, again, why I did it second. We don't put these together until both are tacky. We want the glue everywhere to be quite tacky. This is a vegetable tanned process, and so it's more absorbent. It's a drier leather, where the leather process to tan this rabbit hide as a pelt makes it softer and not as absorbent when it comes to the glue. So we're going to let these dry. This shouldn't take more than 3 to 5 minutes of waiting. If you want to speed things up on either piece, just take it and shake it in the air. Let the air help dry that out a bit. Okay, I just test by touching it. It's tacky. It's still a little moist, but it's overall fairly tacky. We don't want it to be completely dry. So now, remember, be sure to check your edge that has the cuts. Remember, that is the bottom of the jess. So we're going to take the other side that does not have cuts, and that is the side that we're going to have go against the line in the middle. Then pick a side, fold it over, then fold it over again, and just push it down. I would go ahead and let it dry for at least another 10 minutes before you put it on a bird. Now, this would be okay. Your anklet itself would have been measured off of the bird's leg ahead of time to make sure it fits him comfortably. But remember, since you're adding fur, you need to make that jess a little wider, that anklet, I mean, a little wider to be able to accommodate the fur. Now, once you're to this point, you can put the grommet in. You can wrap it around the bird's leg, pull the jess through, and you're set. Let's say this pen is your bird's leg. There you go. It's almost like pom-poms. You're holding your bird. It's nice and soft. Well, that's a pretty basic step-by-step on how to make jesses for booted birds. Now, I started this technique for great horned owls. I've used it on Eurasian eagle owls as well, and I find that rabbit fur does work very well and holds up surprisingly well through the season. I got thinking about the technique. Utah, where I live and hunt my birds, is very cold in the wintertime. And my Harris hawks, of course, their legs, they don't like to be out when you're getting around freezing. And so what I started to do is make thick rabbit fur anklets for my Harris hawks in the winter, and it works wonderfully. I've used rabbit fur as well, anklets on other booted hawk species, such as ferruginous hawks and rough-legged hawks. But working with smaller owls, such as screech owls, burrowing owls, species like that, saw-whet owls, I did fur anklets, but I've actually instead used weasel fur. So if you go online and you can find sources for weasel and ermine pelts, they're very small. The fur is strong, it's soft, but it's much shorter. Works better for jesses for those smaller birds. Now, Merlin falcons are known sometimes to have the bad habit of picking at their toes and at their jesses. And doing weasel fur wrapped anklets on Merlins has also been a very successful use of this. Now, I mentioned earlier golden eagles. Golden eagles are a booted eagle. Rabbit fur is not strong enough and it will not last a season with them. Most golden eagles I've flown, just the fact that they love to bathe every single day is enough to ruin the rabbit fur. Most female eagles that I've trained, I use climbing webbing to make the the anklets. But when I first get a brand new one, I will also cover that with opossum fur. Opossum fur is a bit more durable than rabbit fur, and you can't glue it. You actually have to stitch it onto the anklet itself. I'm going to do some other videos on eagle equipment specifically, but just for the record, if you are thinking of doing fur-lined anklets for your booted golden eagle, I would recommend opossum fur. It works very well. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I just wanted to share some of my experience training owls and a piece of equipment I developed that seems to work very well. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them down below in the comments, and I'll try to answer them the best I can. And feel free to check out the rest of my YouTube videos. Thanks.